Hello, everybody. I'm hoping that I've got this right at last. Now, let's just check for light levels. And then hopefully you won't have too much reflection of the computer screen in my glasses. Let me just see if I can read. Oh, dear. I was about to say, can I read what the writing says without them on? No, I can't. Sorry. We are with glasses today. So hello to Tony. Thank you for being here. And Anna, hello. Do say hello so I can say hello back to you. Oh, fabulous. Thank you, whoever gave me a thumbs down before I even started speaking. There's always one or two or more, actually, and that's fine. Hello from Walnut Tree Homestead. Hello, how are you? I am now still faffing around with this. So let's start by talking about the weather, because that's what I start with all the time. So do let me know where you're from and what your weather is doing today. Our weather has been incredibly kind today. Yesterday, it rained quite a lot, and I was outside working in it for a lot of the time. But today, we've had the most beautiful sunrise. The hills were just blissfully golden and lit up. It was a really lovely morning. It's been dry ever since, so that's been felt like a real treat, actually. So Anna's here. Hi, Anna, and Anne, and Shana, and Hugh. Hello, Hugh. How are you? He's going to catch up later. He's saying it's nice weather in Aberystwyth. Well, I guess you're not that far from me. So, I say that, hour or two, but it's not too far away. Anne says it's cool, but the sun is coming out. No more fog that's been here for days. Good. I'm glad the fog's clearing up. Fog is quite miserable to spend time in, isn't it? I've just realised, just before we started the live chat, I lit a fire, and I don't actually know that I haven't got coal ash all over my face. Not coal ash, wood ash all over my face. We don't use coal. So if I have got ash on my face, we'll just ignore it. Hello, Nicola is in Cornwall. Hi, Laura, saying cold weather, moving into Maryland. Joe's here. Hiya, greetings from Arkansas. How are you? Andy is here. Hello, Andy. Andy is my bee person. So he comes, and I would like to say he helps me look after the bees, but he doesn't. And the reality is he looks after the bees, and I say, how are they? He has when the previous gentleman who was going to be teaching me how to keep bees, when we went into the lockdown at the beginning of 2020, I put out an appeal in our local beekeeping group going, help, because the previous gentleman was really elderly and quite sensibly had been told he must isolate. But it was just at a time when I needed to do something with the bees. So Andy stepped up, bless him, and has been helping me with the bees ever since. And I have learned so much, and I've gained so much confidence, but not enough to care for the bees all on my own. So Andy appears every month or so and comes and does a bit more with the bees. So the last time he was here, he put them to bed for the winter, tucks them all in, and put their little duvets around them all. And I just need to go and have another look at the end of the month and see how they're getting on. Do they need more food in the hives or not? So Tony is saying it's a bit overcast, but at least it's dry. Tony, do I gather that your power is back on? I saw something online yesterday saying a huge number of houses in your area were without power. Pam's here. Hello. Victoria's here. New York. We had a tornado swing by yesterday. Wow. But in general, November's been warm. I haven't had a freeze yet. Just planted my garlic yesterday. It's a good time. Anne says, please give Liv a big thumbs up. Thank you. It always helps. It tells YouTube that you are enjoying it. So Nicola's saying, can't see if you do or not have wood ash on you. I'm watching on the phone with a cracked screen. My phone has now, mine's an old phone, and I've now scratched right in the middle of the screen. So every time I try to look at anything, there's this big, it's not just one, it's like lots of little scratches, and it's really irritating. So Joe's saying it's overcast and chilly this morning. Sandra is saying good morning from Tennessee. Good morning. Joe said, knee replacement surgery recovery underway. Hopefully, once you've had some time to recuperate from that, you will be, well, I'm not going to say running a marathon, but you will feel much better. I know when my father had his knees replaced, he said it was just so marvellous to be pain-free. And he kept walking up and down stairs because he could. So Melissa's here from Massachusetts. It's cool, 32 today. Brr, that is 32 is freezing, but maybe it'll go up to 50, which is a bit warmer, isn't it? Mary Lou's here from Colorado. I can't speak. Colorado. Nearly said that the wrong way around. And Missouri girls here. Hi. Chrissy Reynolds. Hi, Liz. I live in Nottingham, and it's quite nice now. It was foggy this morning. You see, we had absolutely clear skies this morning. It was beautiful. Yeah, Victoria's making a comment about my little bees in duvets. I always imagine that's what they do, huddle up warm next to each other to get warm. Chrissy's here. Hi, Chrissy. Pam says, the weather up here in New York's pretty warm, really, considering we barely need the heating on except late in the evening and a bit in the morning to take the chill off. We are still getting our house warmed up here, so we fluctuate between... It's so hot, and I'm sitting there, sweat pouring off me because I've got the wood fire going and I've got the heating on. And then it gets cold and the house gets really cold. It hasn't dried out enough yet to retain a lot of heat in the walls, which it will do eventually. But the builders have suggested us for each inch of the thickness of your walls, that's how many years it will take to dry out. So how many months, it's going to take to dry out. So it's going to take us at least 2 years for these walls to properly dry out. But at that point, hopefully, the walls will retain the heat. I can hear sneezing. It's a cat. Excuse me. Did you want to come in? Yes. So hopefully in a couple of years' time, the walls will have dried out and the house will then retain the heat and we won't need that heating on quite so often. Here we go. Yellow Labrador's here. Hello from a warm island. Hello. G-Man, howdy from Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia. Yeah, I did say that right. Sea Green Spiral saying that they are poorly and it's nice here in Wales. It is nice here in Wales, isn't it? Regardless of the weather. At Noah's house. Hello, everyone. Loads of people joining us. Baroque Cowgirl, hello. Michael, hi. Richard, hello. And Benny, hi. How are you? Oh, Norway, -3. Good grief. Anne, Hillary, tell me what your weather is like. Right, so let's crack on because I've been saying hellos for 10 minutes now. Yes, Monty is around. Victoria's saying hello. Monty is in a really odd mood at the moment. He is in needing a lot of attention and being very demanding, very demanding. He's being painful, actually. He comes up and he gets his claw out and he's kind of either, if you're lying in bed, he pokes you in the face to say, talk to me. If you're sitting on the sofa, he kind of gets all his claws out and in your legs, and it's not the most comfortable of things. I don't know what's the matter with him. I don't know whether he's feeling a bit under the weather, but he's definitely not being the most loving. He's attentive, I'll say that, but he's not being very gentle at the moment. So I want to give you a quick update. My last video was about starting to get the barn ready to put the ducks in for the winter if we need to. I'm getting notifications left, right and centre now from AFA which is the Animal and Plant Health Authority, saying that another lot of avian influenza has been found at X, Y, and Z premises. So, and it's all over the UK. It's sort of literally not in every direction. I had thought maybe it'd just be like one flight path or something, but it's absolutely everywhere. So I don't suppose it'll be very long before we're told to put our poultry in. And interestingly, when I've been talking about this, people have said, "Oh, it didn't count for our birds because they're only domestic, or they're only pets, or we've only got 3, or it didn't count for ducks." And it did, is the answer. All it will cover if it happens. If the lockdown happens for poultry in the UK, it will apply to all poultry. Whether you've got 1 as a pet or hundreds. I think if you've got hundreds, there are other rules as well, but it certainly applies to all the different types of poultry. So that's my my bit of public service information. Hello to Rose. Hiya, how are you? I hope you're well. Do let us know what the weather's doing in Georgia. And hello, Tony. Thank you for joining us. I'm saying us. Mr. J is around. He's upstairs. He will appear in a while. He's working. He's doing radio stuff. So Sarah's here. Hello, Sarah. Ballasilian, allotment man. Hello. Oh, it's cold, damp, and foggy in Belfast. So it does seem that some places are foggy. So let's have a look at my list. Can I just say, let's just say that it's only 6 weeks, just over 6 weeks till winter solstice, or if you're watching in Australia, summer solstice, but the solstice. And I am doing my countdown now. So I started the countdown to solstice a couple of weeks ago with an attempt to each week make sure I do something constructive or something creative, something productive, that I feel gratitude for something, and I make sure that I actually kind of take note of that. And I'm trying to do those things, something like that, every week, so that I can just find some positive in the days that are darker and darker. They're shorter and shorter, and so far it's good. I sat up in the middle of the night and when I'd gone to sleep too early, and then woke up and I was like, stare at the ceiling. And I sat and wrote a piece on a Facebook group, and then I went to copy and paste it, and I deleted it. I'm not typing it out again, but it was basically saying that how much extra this house has cost us in terms of having to put in new heating and things that we weren't expecting to do, and how that actually made me feel really down, that the unexpected stuff, we knew stuff needed doing to the house to make it how we would want it, but then I sort of said, but actually that's all going to be irrelevant, because we would have had those things done at some point, and it just means we've had them done sooner, and that our house is nicer now already. And I turned round my moan into something really positive by the end of it, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I am trying to make sure that I'm doing a feeling negative, turn it around into something that's going to be uplifting. So hang on, quick slurp of tea, which now isn't warm enough. Oh, semi-cold tea is really disgusting. So I'm going to have a quick read of the comments. Nicola's saying, thank you for keeping us posted on the birds. Nicola, I will let people know if I hear anything, or as and when I hear things. I've got messages coming on my phone, so I'll turn that over so I don't get distracted. People are having a good chat. Michael's saying, I've just planted my 11th fruit tree. Yes, isn't that great? That's brilliant. And Daniel is saying, hello world, it's 3 degrees here in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Okay, I'm going to assume that that's 3 degrees Oh, it does say C, yes, centigrade. So Tony is saying, so Tony from Simplified Gardening has been really struggling on and off for quite some time now with vertigo, and an absolute hideous thing to have. I mean, you know, Tony, I really feel for you. So he's just saying he's finally having his operation, and he's hopefully that will get rid of the vertigo. I really hope so, Tony. It's a rotten thing to have, absolutely rotten. So fingers crossed that the operation happens when it's planned to happen, and that it does get rid of it. Michael's saying, are you still planting, Les, or is your vegetable garden still going? I actually went and looked at the veggies this morning. So there are still to harvest. There's some beetroot, there's a couple of turnips left, some endive, don't know how you say it. There's still about half a dozen potato plants to harvest. I've harvested the big squashes that I had there now in store. And there were a few beans. Actually, in my video about my first veg harvest, I didn't include some beans, but I brought some of the Greek gigantes beans that I love so much. I brought them with us, and I actually dug up the plants that had overwintered from our old place. So the plants I've got are now 5 years old, 4 years old. I'll have to go back and look. They're 4 or 5 years old already. Had a very tiny harvest from them, and they're going to go into the ground to overwinter as soon as I get them in. But there is a lot going on out there at the moment. So the barn, that's where I got to. Last video was about starting to convert the barn. Dave the Hero was with me, working with me again on Friday, and we cracked on with getting that barn fox proof. But it was one of those things where we were having to go and look for bits of wood and look for things, and we haven't quite worked out yet where all the piles of junk are on this site and what's in what pile. So we spent quite a lot of time just rooting through piles, going, "Ooh, look, that might be useful for something." Not for the barn, but we got quite sidetracked in looking at bits of wood and bits of scrap metal and things. But anyway, so the barn is coming on, and hopefully next Friday we will finish making the barn fox proof. I've bought a couple of bike store sheds. I got them from Walton Sheds, and they're kind of the same. They're exactly the same as we had at Ducks Inn in the last place. So they're about 4.5 feet high or something, but they're nice. These ones are a good size. They're 8 feet by 4 feet. So then, or are they 6 by 4? I think they're 8 by 4. Anyway, they're quite deep, and they've got 2 huge doors on the front, and I've got 2 of them. So we're going to sort of put them together, and then the joining bits down the middle where there would be 2 pieces at the ends, we're going to take those away. So we've actually just got one long, narrow space for them to be in overnight. And with these great big doors, 2 sets of big doors, it should be really easy to clean out. So hopefully next week we'll all be ready in case they announce a poultry lockdown. And even if they don't, I'm going to be moving the ducks from the field shelter that they're in at night now into those sheds, small sheds in the barn at night, just because it means that they'll be warmer, they'll be more protected, and well, actually no, the real reason is that barn is just on the other side of the house and takes about 40 steps to get to, whereas to walk all the way up to the top of the field is considerably more. And when I say top of the field, it is really steep slope. It's one of the things that I can't really, it's really hard to convey on a camera, but we are 3/4 of the way, if not more, up a mountainside, and we can see the top from hill. It's called a mountain. It's actually, I think it's officially it would be counted as a hill, but we can see the top. It is really slopey, and we're slipping and sliding. The more rain we get, the more precarious a journey it is up to do the ducks. So we thought, actually, if we bring them down, they're closer. It's less far for us to go in the wind and the rain and the inevitable snow that will arrive. So part of it is convenience for us, and part of it is safety for them. Okay, let me carry on having a quick look. So lots of people hopefully are wishing Tony good luck with his vertigo and his, I'll get there, and his operation. So Robert's here, hiya. Kate's here, hello. Tony's saying it's probably a 10% grade in parts on yours. So if you're don't use a percentage gradient, it's about a 1 in 10. It's steep enough when you're pushing a wheelbarrow up it or carrying buckets of things up to ducks. So and hopefully when Tony O'Neill is feeling less vertigo-y, a technical term there, Tony will all come over and have a look, and we'll film here, and he'll be able to see just how slopey that slope is. Right, so look at my list. Can I say, well, I know I can. I want to say thank you to all my new patrons. Since our last live chat, there have been 3 or 4 new patrons. Thank you for joining us over on Patreon. I'm about to, in the next, probably tomorrow, going to post a video on there, which will be an early release video. So patrons will get to see that a week or so before everyone else. It is of a project that I've been working on for about 5 weeks now, in the food forest, but it will show you from beginning to end, and that will be out very soon on YouTube, but it will be on Patreon first. The other thing that I have been doing, is I've spent quite a lot of time in the last couple of weeks planting bulbs and corms and other small little thingies. I don't know what they're called. Corms. There must be corms and bulbs and roots of flowering plants for spring and early summer. The cut flower garden is not ready yet for me to plant directly into it, but I don't want to wait until it is, because it's likely to be ready in the next 3 months. But I don't want to wait till then, because that will be too late to get some of the plants in the ground if I want them to flower in spring. So I have masses and masses of pots. I've all those things that I planted and potted up at the old house to bring here, reusing all those pots to distracted. I'm not distracted. My brain just went blank then. I'm going to reuse all of those pots so that I can then put those plants outside in the garden when the space is ready. And the reason the space isn't ready is 2 things. One, we've got the sheep in there at the moment. So the 2 girls are in what will be the cut flower field. And 2 is that area hasn't got rabbit-proof fencing yet. So I have contacted our fencing chaps, who are absolutely fabulous, to say, is there any chance we could do a bit more fencing before Christmas? They've said yes. So that next means I have to try and find a local supplier of fence posts and some netting, so that we can get all of that done. But that is, it's a really big field. The food forest is 0.56 of an acre. So what I've planted up so far is just over half an acre's worth. The cut flower field is 3/4 of an acre. and I'm going to be fencing, not all of it. I am going to be fencing most of it. So I'm going to be fencing something like 0.65 of an acre. Over 0.6 of an acre will be cut flowers and grasses and filling, that sort of thing, filling materials. So it's going to take a little while to get that done, get the posts in, and then get the rabbit proof fencing up. Then I can start planting in there. So in the meantime, I'm putting in lots and lots of plants into pots. So the long barn just opposite the house, not the one that the ducks are going into, long barn is now starting to look like a plant nursery. So let's hear let's hear if you are planting bulbs. Are you putting them in pots? Are you planting them straight into the ground? And more importantly, what are you growing? I've put in my onions and garlic are in the food forest, but I am going to put some more garlic and shallots into pot. Actually, I haven't got onions. I've got shallots. I've got shallots and garlic out there. I will put some more shallots into pots. I haven't put in any autumn onion sets yet, overwintering onion sets. I don't have any, but what I have got is masses and masses of shallots. So that's what I'm going to use this year. I'm not going to worry about buying anything in. I'm just going to use the ones that we've got. Let's have a look. So if you have a question for me as opposed to someone else, would you mind popping it into capitals so I can see it really easily? Thank you so much. Nicola saying, where do you get your bulbs from? So I've bought them from several different places, but what I did notice is that Farmer Gracie has got they've got a sale on this weekend. I think they've got 40% off selected bulbs. Almost everywhere now will have, I would imagine, reduced prices on bulbs, but certainly worth checking out Farmer Gracie because I happen to have seen their advert at 40% off. If I can get bulbs and plants at a reduced price, I will. Abel Mabel says, I'm new-ish here, but enjoying your videos. Thank you very much. Catnip says, just plant. Yeah. Mr. J is looking very cold. Are you cold?
No, I just think I've got to get some wood in.
Oh, yes, please. He's going to go and find. Are you going to buy wood now? Oh, he's gone. I think he's. Yes, please. So he's gone to get some wood. Right. I am sorry. I'm just looking. Oh, Rosa's saying she's getting some have saffron to get in the ground. Nice. I wonder, someone was asking if it was difficult to grow, so I was just trying to. So doesn't saffron come from crocuses? A particular type of crocuses. Michael's saying, have you put onion sets in? So I said, no, I haven't got any onion sets. I am going to start some onions from seed. I'll do that on Boxing Day because that's a good Boxing Day activity. I can disappear out into the barn, sow some seeds out there. At Noah's House says, Liz, are you planning and doing any preserving, canning coming up? So not this year, simply because we don't have the harvest yet to do any additional canning. So I've still got quite a lot of food that I canned in our last house this time last year, a bit earlier than a year or so ago. I did masses and masses of canning and freezing, so we'd have enough food to see us through last winter and this winter and going into next year. I was mindful that we were already talking about moving and that we probably wouldn't have a big harvest in our new house. So I tried to plan ahead. That's worked fairly well. I haven't got as much into the ground here as I would have liked to, or as early as I would have liked to. always the case, isn't it? So I have got some brassicas in, but they're just tiny. I don't really think they're going to do anything. They might, just for the end of the hungry gap, produce a few bits and pieces for us. We'll see. So not canning this year, certainly will be preserving and canning next year. So I now need to just catch up with the conversation. Chris is here. Hello from Plattsburgh, New York. He's got wood. Nice. Okay, so Tony, going back to the conversation about cheap bulbs and things, Tony's just saying Sutton's are doing £1 a pack for bulbs. I'm assuming that is at the moment. So lots of people getting cheap bulbs, which is brilliant. Mel's saying, just got my garlic bed all planted and put to bed under leaf mulch. Planted about 60 cloves this year. Every year I say I'm not going to plant too much, and then every year I say I wish I'd planted more. So there we go. So Victoria saying she just did allium, Egyptian walking onions, onion sets, anemone, and garlic. Nice. Kate says she's doing composting on site this year. Excited to see how well the garden does with this in place. Oh, interesting. Nice. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
Have you joined us?
Apparently.
Do you want to move forward a tiny bit?
Okay.
I'll just wriggle the camera around.
I feel dizzy.
Yeah, sorry about making people feel dizzy.
Okay, that'll do.
There we go.
Right.
That's okay. So what Abel maybe says, what can I do to prep my garden now for my first attempt to start growing in the spring? Get it as weed free as you can of pernicious weeds. So annual weeds, you can either use a hoe or you can lift them up and just break them up, break the roots away from the tops, drop them down, and then get a mulch on. And you don't need to dig it in, you just sit it on the top, and over the winter the worms will start incorporating that into the soil.
Okay.
Chris says, what growing zone are you considered? Well, we're 8B. I would guess either we're 8 or possibly 7. If there is a 7B, I would have thought maybe we're 7B. So
as a general hello, so everyone's saying hello. Hello.
Let's have a look. Oh, Andy's here. Hi, everyone. He's saying, hi, everyone. How are you all doing? Have I missed much? No, you haven't missed much at all. It's my wittering. You're not going to miss much on a live chat. I make no grand announcements or anything, do I? No. So I have been talking about the barn and how I'm coming along with that.
Which barn?
The one with the ducks we're going to go into.
The new duck barn.
The new duck barn. The one lower barn we're calling it. We named it now, lower barn.
We'll change the name of it. We'll forget what it's called. It's like the turkey palace, the chicken palace, the potting shed. It's all the same thing. Yes.
I have got to do it. It's just I'd say very publicly. He was an absolute hero getting the rows out from in front of that. That was such hard work.
I was glad I wasn't working the next day.
We only broke one spade.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And the soil is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, the soil's not too bad. It's just that root was so deep and it was going every direction at once, including under things that I couldn't dig it out of without the risk of things falling down.
Yeah, no, it was it was hard work. You did a really good job. Thank you. Josh is saying, Josh is saying, what's the best mulch for garlic? I would have said homemade compost is going to be best. Would be my guess. Whenever I miss comments, there's always comments I don't want to see. Not yours.
All right.
No, not theirs. Okay. The ones that have been hidden.
Oh, okay.
So let's have a little look. Dave's saying, greetings from Northwest Turkey. Hello, hello. And let's have a little look. Andy's saying, just sneaked off from a Spanish Sunday lunch. He put photos up, I think it was yesterday. Put a photo of, it might have been local, of having a barbecue out on the terrace in the evening, which I was a bit envious of. I was envious of the warmth.
I wouldn't be surprised to find that some of my cousins in Sweden are having barbecues out on their patios at the moment, in the snow, admittedly. But...
yeah. Well, you said it was a day there today, wasn't it?
It's Father's Day.
It's Father's Day. There we go. Yeah. So, let's have a look. Oh, the under the bridge dwellers have arrived again.
Afraid so.
Yeah. It's very dull when they do that, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, and the other bit of news, another bit of news is yesterday I saw that Hugh has made public. He's now.
What's he making public now?
He's launched. He's revealed, even revealed. He's revealed the cover of his new book, The Vegetable Growers Handbook, and that's now available to order through
all the usual sources.
Well, I think it's on Amazon. I think that might only be on Amazon at the moment that I know of. Anyway, it's been revealed. He spent a long time umming and ahhing over the title of that book. I'm really pleased that he's chosen such a good name. So.
At Noah's House is suggesting I check out the prong tool. I misread that for a moment. I read it as the prog tool. I was thinking, it's got something to do with, Pink
music,
Floyd and Moon Safari.
66 Red 66, who told me their name last time and I've already forgotten because I'm bad.
No, but it's just there are so many names to remember.
Yeah.
And you have difficulty enough remembering mine half the
time. Tracy's saying we start chicken lockdown here in Belgium. Is there one in GB? Though Tracy, there is likely to be one any time now. Anyway, the next comment was, are there honestly people putting negative comments on here? Yes, but it's how some people get their yayas, so we just ignore them. Crystal Byrne says, hi you two, it's Crystal and Byrne from New Jersey. Good to see you live.
Hello, Crystal and Byrne.
We meant to do live. There was just so much going on last week. Last week we were on massive.
Oh, sorry, I misheard you. You said glad to see you alive. I thought you said. I was thinking, hang on a minute.
Live. Yeah, no, we are alive. We had a massive gardening weekend last weekend. So we were digging.
Poop.
Yeah, we were digging endless amounts of very well rotted horse manure and bedding out of one of the stables. Yes. And moving it up to the food forest. And it was
hard work.
It was hard work. You really went for it. So I was planting plants about as fast as you were, not quite as fast as you were bringing up barrows of manure.
No, but you carried on long after I got my back went to take any more of this,
So it's so Barbara's saying, what's a chicken lockdown? I'm new to keeping chickens. So Barbara, where are you? In the UK and in many countries in Europe, to prevent the spread of avian influenza, poultry keepers are told that they have to keep their animals under cover. It hasn't been announced in the UK yet. What has happened is we have to do increased biosecurity, so their food has to be given to food and water, has to be kept under cover, and you need to try and limit the access that wild birds would have to that food and water.
And also to them, to as far to an extent as you can, whilst not.
Yeah, well, no, we're not quite there yet. We're there, but it won't be very long before they tell us that you have to keep all our birds under cover and with netting that wild birds can't get through. So she's in Tucson, Arizona. It's not going to affect you. I think you're going to be okay.
I know that the cases of avian influenza that have been found in the UK so far have all been in wild birds. There hasn't been any crossover yet.
Oh, hasn't there?
That I've read of. Certainly not in Wales. Maybe elsewhere in the UK that has been.
No, I think you'll find that they're in poultry.
All right, okay.
They are in poultry. Hang on, you keep talking about something else. I'll just check. Let me check while I'm reading.
This is what I was reading a couple of 3 days ago.
I'll tell you what. So I get these updates, and they all just say found in premises, in premises, but they're not saying what they are yet. So the first one I think said it was in captive birds.
Tony's saying that he's also getting the AFA warnings pretty much every day. It was one of the news reports I was reading in. Can't remember where it was. It was The Guardian or something like that. It was Tony saying that it was in poultry in Dorset.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen it in poultry. I thought I saw it in turkeys or something. Anyway, that's what it is, and it will progress as the winter goes on, and it seems to happen every year. And it's something to do with the migration of birds. So once the migrating birds stop migrating, then we're allowed to let them roam again. So, that's a good question. So can I just ask, Crystal, if you have other questions, in fact, everybody, if you have questions for either me or Mr. J, can you put them in capitals, because it makes it really easy for us to see. So it says, are there any new varieties of plants that you'll be trying next year?
Almost certainly.
So there are a whole raft of ornamental plants that I'm going to be trying for the first time, and there probably actually aren't that many new fruit and veg.
Right.
Well, we've planted lots of new apples, but we won't be trying those for a couple of years. So in some ways, we're going to be going with things that we know, and then so my thinking is, if I go with varieties that I know from our old house and I know the timings of those, I'll be able to see how much I need to adjust here, the timings, and see how much earlier or later they grow. So,
and then as we expand the growing space, as more is prepared and ready for use, then we can branch out and maybe look at more exotics and whatever.
Yes. Yeah. And once we've got a polytunnel, we'll be able to do some more. Actually, let's do melons.
Oh yeah, they worked out all right last time.
They were fantastic. They've tasted amazing. So I think we will do some growing undercover, probably more than we've done before. So maybe that's what the new thing will be this year. More stuff undercover. So I think we can reveal. We won't say where we're getting it from, but we'll reveal. We are definitely having a polytunnel.
Yeah.
And so hopefully that will be in the next month. Also, so we'll share that being put up. We might need to wait so Tony can come and visit us. But it does mean that we will definitely have some undercover growing space, which will be great. So let's have a little. Lots of people are just joining us, and I feel like I'm going to be very rude because I am going to absolutely stop by 3 o'clock. Because
yes, she's got jobs for me to do.
There are some jobs. There's a lack of. No,
a lack of tea.
No, I let my
tea. Lack of you drinking it.
I know my tea has gone cold, so I have a lack of tea in my life, and also we didn't. It's a long time since breakfast, and I forgot to get any lunch. Usually, if I'm doing a live chat at 2 o'clock, I try and eat lunch beforehand. but I haven't, and my stomach's now growling at me. So. Let's have a look. I've got more of those unwanted people. Oh, see, every time I comment about them, it gives them oxygen, doesn't it? Deary me. So, have you got in your memory, just tucked away here in this front bit, what years you're going to be on your radio shows coming up? So, in case you don't know, so apologies to people who've heard this before. In case you don't know, Mr. J.
So I'm trying to get my phone out of my pocket.
That was inelegant. Mr. J presents 2 radio shows each week, and one is a selection of your own selection of all sorts of different genres.
DFM, which I'm not going to explain because I might offend people. Damn fine music.
It is damn fine music. I'm going to say it. And the other show is a retro album chart show. So
if you've listened to Pick of the Pops, it's like that, but it's album charts rather than the same old singles that everyone plays to death.
Yes, and so he chooses 2 years, and he goes through the charts, the album charts of those years. But you don't pick the most obvious. No,
I try to avoid playing the mouldy oldies, as I refer to them.
Yes, so you get a more varied selection.
And the current edition of the retro album chart show is 1972 and 1986. That's the one that's going out this week.
I probably don't know any of those.
You probably would do.
Oh, I probably would. But 72 is probably a bit too early for me to take.
David Bowie's Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. There's a track from that on there.
Well, yeah, all right. Not too early then. I was actually thinking it was probably a bit too early for me to have taken much notice. And by 86, I was busy being a parent.
72, I was really getting into music. And 86, I was working in record shops.
Yeah, nice. So you were probably really into it.
Oh, yeah, I was selling it. I was in R. Price and Hammersmith, I think, in 86. Thank you, Tony.
So I've noticed today, I'm reading. I noticed today some of my carrots are going to seed, which bees have enjoyed. When will the seeds be ready to collect? I've never collected these before. I am surprised. Well, I'm not surprised. Mine go to seed regularly. The answer is keep watching, and when you see the seeds, you'll see them forming, or just try every now and then to see if they're ready, because the answer is I can't tell you exactly when they'll be ready, time-wise. That wasn't really very helpful, was it? I'm sorry.
The shows are on various internet and FM and DAB stations around the world, and they stream. A lot of them are streaming worldwide. I have a Facebook page if you want to look at that, which is facebook.com/Titus Radio, TITUSRADIO.
Type it in there.
Well, you can.
Well, because you can type faster than I can.
I'll just put this up, and there's a. Yeah, that's right. There's
you put a link, did you?
There's a what's the word I'm looking for? Schedule. That's the word.
That's
in the pinned post at the top there, so you can find out approximately because it's pre-recorded. Radio stations will swap things around very often without necessarily letting me know, which is fine. It happens.
So there we go. So Sarah's saying we had 2 marrows for supper yesterday from our very slow courgette plant. Nice surprise. Oh, good, because you were saying it was really slow and you wasn't sure it was actually going to do anything. So that's pretty good to know.
I thought that was a variety that you specially grew for putting in slow cookers.
You're on your witty one today, aren't you?
What, sorry?
You're in a witty one. Do you know what you didn't do?
What didn't I do?
Sorry, quick domestic moment here. When you came down, you were going to bring me down some jelly beans.
Yeah, but the cat distracted me. It's Monty's fault.
Well, have them on.
Yes.
Good. I can't believe you let the cat distract you and not bring me jelly beans. Okay, so we keep the jelly beans upstairs because I can't be trusted with them. If they're down here, I'll eat them. I'll eat them all the way through. Kate's saying, what is a courgette? A courgette is a zucchini. In UK, we call them courgettes, which I guess is from the French.
Meaning mini marrow.
Me. Yeah, so courgette is zucchini.
I'm just going to go off camera for a moment.
Good. Are you going to go and get jelly beans?
No, that's me.
Oh, but my bowl is for my jelly beans is over there, right? So if there are jelly beans in the kitchen, I will just eat a lot of them. The same with crisps or any sweets or biscuits. I've got no willpower. If they're upstairs, they're out of sight and therefore mostly out of mind. And so I ask him.
It's a special brand, you know, the new out of sight jelly beans.
Out of sight jelly beans, yeah. Well, it
Also,
works, doesn't it?
Yeah, because
Most of
the other
time.
thing, well, it works even better because I keep moving where I hide them.
Yes. Yeah, that does work. It does. Hiya, Sam. How are you? So Sam was the person who won the giveaway of the book. Last time we did a giveaway.
Okay.
And it wended its way all the way to Antipodean climes.
Okay. Sarah's saying, isn't it Italian? I think zucchini is Italian, but courgette, I think, is French. Actually, I don't even know if zucchini is Italian. It might be Italian-American.
Oh,
A lot of pizza.
Who knows? Who knows? So
Sarah's got jelly hedgehogs in her fridge.
for children's Christmas presents.
Yeah, right.
They wouldn't make it.
We'd have to have a separate fridge that she didn't know about.
they simply wouldn't make it up. But sooner or later, I will go back on my diet and I will lose the weight again. So when the stress of moving hit, I pretty much consumed my own weight in sugar in a short amount of time. And an awful lot of the weight that I lost previously, I've put back on to the point where my clothes are uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe New Year, or in between Christmas and New Year, which is what I did previously, I shall be that. Although, you know, it was easier when we had a garden full of food, wasn't it?
Yes.
We were saying the other day how much more veg we ate.
Yeah.
When we just had to pop out to the garden and
when it was food feed.
Yes, and not food. Get in the car and drive somewhere. Yeah. So.
And that will happen again, but it's not an instant thing, is it?
No, I think by the end of 2022 we'll be all on our own veg again.
Good.
Except for asparagus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to take 2 or 3 years, but it will be there. So.
Victoria says jelly hedgehogs are a thing. Apparently so.
Yes. So they're like little sweets.
Oh, are they?
What, jelly hedgehogs?
I thought they're massive, great wobbly hedgehogs.
No. I think
Wobbly Norman.
No, well, I took it like those little tiny sweets of different things.
Yes, sugar is addictive.
Yes, and bready things as well.
Yeah,
all the things but anyway, that's fine. So it is 5 to 3. I am going to invite anybody who has a YouTube channel, has an Instagram page, has any social media that they would like to tell other people about. You can't put up links, but what you can do is say, I have a channel, I have a blog, I have an Insta account, whatever it is. Do feel free to just do a bit of self-promotion. And then as you see people saying, I have a channel or I've got an Instagram account or whatever, as you see those, if you haven't found them before, you might want to hop over to those channels or over to those social media accounts, check them out, subscribe and follow them and all of those things. He's gone to put another log on the fire, bless him. So Pam, the Blue Pixie, is your channel called the Blue Pixie? Is it a channel? Is it an Instagram account? do let us know what it is as well. And as I said, let's just have a little bit of cross-pollination, the right phrase? Cross-promotion. Promote yourselves and we'll give you a shout out as well. Nancy says, I'm NR Stooge on Instagram. Cats, food, knitting and patio gardening. Nice. What sort of cats, Auntie? Nancy, are they more polite than Monty, I hope, because he's in a terrible grump at the moment. So Blue Pix is saying it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere you see it, it's me. Cool. At Noah's House on YouTube and Instagram, and NC Aunties on, or N Cantes on Instagram. Oh, Nancy's saying her cat is a 19-year-old one from a shelter. That's nice. So Ecocentric Home says, my YouTube channel is a boy of little money building a forest garden far from populated areas and agricultural areas. Nice. So, oh yeah, look at that. So Kate has popped up a link for her channel. She does a really nice live chat that goes out on a Sunday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. Figs, Pigs and Feathers. Got a YouTube channel. Thanks, Joe. Tony Gardens and Gizmos has a channel. She pops up stuff occasionally. He's gone to get me some jelly beans. You know it's love, don't you? This is just cupboard love. Thank you very much. Jelly beans. So it's not a huge number of beans, but it is enough. You just hit the light again.
Yes, I did just hit the light again. It's exactly at the right height to hit my head. I
bought myself 2 sort of very, very pretty old-fashioned dangly downy lamps that just have like a huge giant-sized bulb in them.
They've got those twisted brown flecks. It looks like they're the sort of thing that were condemned in houses in the 1940s, but weren't because it's new.
Yeah, but they're just at a good height for you to hit your head on, aren't they? So.
Perfect.
Right, there we go. Look, 2 minutes to go. I think we should head off. Don't you?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we have things that need to be done before the darkness arrives.
We have
Subtle as a Flying Mallet, which is an album by Dave Edmunds.
Please can I have a cup of tea?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I've got a head. Right, so there will be a video this Tuesday. I meant to put one up last week. I didn't. There will be one this Tuesday.
I can't walk.
So I hope you can catch up with me there. And so wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for today, I hope it's a good one. And I also hope you'll join me again next time. Bye.